Hi there, Moira McDonald. I'm sure you know that if you watched the last video, and you almost certainly did, because an awful lot of folk did. Oops, sorry about that. Right, we spoke, or I spoke, the first time that I did the video. It was basically about depression and when is it alright to admit that things are not great. Things still aren't great. In fact, to be fair, in reality they've moved none. What has happened is I'm sitting in this dilemma. If you didn't see the first video, I'm sitting in this dilemma where I am a small crafter, got a small Etsy shop. The crafting has never been intended in any fashion, any shape or form as big business. It was intended to be a self-financing hobby. Now, having said it was intended to be a self-financing hobby, there is no point in having a hobby if while it gives you the pleasure, if you're making something, you end up with tons of what you've made and you're not sharing it with anyone. Which is why I thought if I sell some of it, not only will it give me an emotional boost to let me know, you know, just a degree of affirmation that your stuff is good. You know, it's not just you that thinks it, other folk think it as well. But that hadn't been happening, and it's never. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? I'm not saying I have never sold anything. I've sold reasonably successfully. But I have not sold in the fashion in which I thought I should be selling, and that is for a variety of reasons. One of which is, obviously, I was relying on an Etsy shop, and I wasn't promoting it in the fashion that I probably should have been, mainly because I, as an individual, sorry, you're going to hear lots of scampering, by the way, because the dogs are playing chases in and out, right? So I'm sorry about that. You hear the wee paws going. Anyway, the business wasn't the business. Shouldn't I call it that? I mean, it is a business, but it's not a business. It's not business in the sense that I looked at it as a business. It's a business on paper technically, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a hobby, right? Like I said, I was anticipating, or I was hoping for a self-financing hobby. That's never been the case ever. Mainly because I didn't promote it. I didn't really know or understand how to promote it. And even if I had known or understood how to promote it, as a person, I'm not really look at me, look at me. I maybe was about 40 years ago when I was a teenager. But no, now, you know, I'm at that stage in life where I think what I've done can speak for itself. The only problem was it was speaking, but nobody was hearing it, which is why I had the issue with my YouTube channel. Just doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Then, you know, Etsy decided to do the Et2 Brutus thing and stabbed me in the back. And as far as they thought it was this great idea to have free postage to American buyers, spending over $35 in your shop. Now, I don't know what $35 works out at. I think it's probably marginally less than £1. So for me, I would probably need to sell something like maybe £39 worth of merchandise. Now, merchandise for me is primarily cards and or junk journals. My junk journals are normally somewhere in the region of 15 or 20 or £25 each, unless I'm making a super duper one. I do have one really big one in the shop that's sitting just now, and it's quite a bit dearer, but it is a big one. It's 5 signatures, so you know, usually I do 1 signature, 2 signature tops. I like wee books. That's my comfort zone. And I know people will tell you, oh, you should stretch yourself. I'm not really interested in stretching myself. I want to enjoy it. I want to do what makes me happy. I just hope that it makes somebody else happy as well. Anyway, all that aside, so I had my grumble and my gripe about that, because I thought I'll never be able to offer, I can't, I genuinely, if I offer free postage, which I did initially for like 2 days, it didn't really make much of a difference. In fact, it cost me money, and I thought, this is, you know, are you in there, McFly? Step back and look at what's happening. Anyway, it made me reassess the whole Etsy thing, and I decided, right, I don't like Etsy in the first place. It's never functioned for me the way I felt it should. It has, across the years I've been there, cost me more than it has benefited me, I feel. And in that respect, I was raging angry, and I thought, I'm going to get rid of this. I will close that Etsy shop. I will open my own website. Well, I spent all day yesterday, all afternoon yesterday afternoon, looking at setting up a website, and it went from initially setting up a shop to, this isn't going to be very easy, I don't know if I can cope with this, to then being, maybe if I just set up a blog and directed folk to the likes of Instagram, because a lot of folks seem to be suggesting to me in the comments that Instagram was a really, really good option when it comes to selling. Now I've got an Instagram account, and up until now, while it started with me showing pictures of cards, more recently it's been, here, look at the dogs, because that's me, you know. The dogs are my focus, and or no, not my focus because I've got, you know, husband and son and brother that I live with. They're my focus, and the dogs are pretty important as well. And the dogs are meant to be the fun part, but they're exhausting. But you know, the craft kind of took a back seat to things that were happening, because having recently got the 2 younger dogs, they have taken up a lot of my time, and they have worn me out, and I do not get a full night's sleep for one reason or the other as a result of having the dogs. But anyway, I'm not complaining about that. The gist of it all was, I was kind of worn down, and the lack of action in terms of the YouTube channel, the lack of action as far as the Etsy shop was concerned, then the additional, here, you know, not only are you not selling anything, but I tell you what, let's make it even more difficult for you to sell. How does that sound to you, Moira? Would you like to go with that one? Forgive me, no, not really, Etsy. I'm not happy about that, and if you don't mind, I'd like to try and leave you, because I've had enough. I decided I wanted to shut the Etsy shop. So like I say, I spent all afternoon yesterday looking at options in terms of opening a website. Can't happen. Way too complex for what I want to do. I'm not Martha Stewart. I am not here to run any sort of business that ultimately is going public. I am trying to sell a couple of wee cards and a junk journal every now and again. So in that respect, I thought, I'll open a blog. Looked at blogs. And my son sat with me, he's got a blog because he does creative writing, and he'd sat and says to me, this shouldn't cost you money, this should be free, you should, he says, when I opened my WordPress account I didn't need to pay anything for it. That doesn't appear to be an option any longer. They've got wise and have figured out, no, there's a way we can make money from these people. We need to sell them a domain, or we need to sell them web space, or so even running a blog was going to cost me money, and I thought, do I have time and energy to run a blog? Not really. I'm frazzled. I've got a lot on my plate, and you know, I appreciate there are people who will have exceptionally tense lives. I've had an exceptionally tense life in the past. I have a degree of tension in my life just now, probably most of it self-created, where I need to be all things to all people in terms of my family and the dogs, and I need to be available to basically at their beck and call. I'm a modern day slavery almost. No, it's not really. I mean, it's just, that's it. It's family life, and my family life takes up a lot of my time. And if I get 5 minutes to myself, the plan was to do a wee bit of crafting. So, you know, if I get 5 minutes to myself and I went to do a wee bit of crafting, it would appear I now need to do 3 minutes of crafting and 2 minutes of social networking. And it's a struggle. It really is a struggle to look at it like that. So anyway, I did the video the last week, and it never, seriously, never in a month of Sundays did I expect it to hit home in the way that it did. There are, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of depressed folk in this world, and I think depression in itself can come as a result of so many different things, and can be reacted to by you as the individual in many different ways. It's a horrible illness, and some folk, I mean, I am down, but like I said last week, in no way am I suicidal, and I have never implied or would hint that I am, but some of the responses I got really concerned me, because it made me even more conscious of how fraught some folks' lives are. And I feel for you, believe you me, I feel for you. I know what it's like to be really down. As a younger woman, I was widowed when I was 25. My husband had a brain tumour. This brain tumour went undiagnosed because he was getting treated by our doctor for headaches, who was absolutely convinced that my husband was suffering from depression. No, it wasn't depression, it was a physical issue, but he completely missed it. Completely and utterly missed it. Ultimately, my husband looked as if he was in the advanced stages of Parkinson's disease, and was admitted by hospital to a psychiatric unit, where the psychiatrist took one look at him and said, I think there's a physical cause for this, and referred us to another hospital where a brain scan took place, and within the hour I was told that he had an inoperable brain tumour. He consequently died 3 weeks later, and I am paying the price for that, even all these years later. So what I'm saying is that would be the catalyst that started things, but obviously there is everything that happens thereafter. Your perspective of it is skewed completely and utterly. Completely and utterly. Things that other people would take in their stride, right out of proportion. I've got a major thing about people's health, on my health. Anybody that tells me they're mildly ill, I have it as some sort of terminal illness, because I cannot see perspective, and I am conscious of the fact that medicine, something blew over outside, it's quite a windy day here, medicine doesn't, doctors that you have faith in don't always pick up on things, and there's this sense of powerlessness in your life, and that's where all the depression all kind of settles round about, because you're just aware that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, your interactions with other people, when you're trying to fight through something, you feel as if, and certainly in my case, I feel that quite often when I have conversations with people, they should finish their side of things with, and there's not a damn thing you can do about that, because that's how you feel. You feel as if you are completely at the mercy of everybody and everything, and that's pretty much what went on last week. I felt I was completely at the mercy of YouTube, at the mercy, or certainly at the mercy of Etsy, and it just, you know, it was a final straw in many respects, and I wanted to get it out. But I get all these responses, and at one point I have to say I had to close the responses, because I was every single one of you merited a reply. You deserved a reply. You deserved for me to say, I hear you, I know exactly what you're saying to me, and I know you've got issues as well, and I'm here for you as much as you're here for me. And if I could have put my hands round folks' shoulders and said, you're all right, don't worry, this'll pass, I wanted to, I really wanted to, because I wanted to give back, or it's not so much that you want to give back, you just want to let folk know, I do hear you, I know, but there were so many, so many, that after a couple of days of trying to respond, as I would reply to one, I would get another 3, and I thought, I can't do this, and I thought, this is making you worse, Moira, you know, maybe you should have kept your mouth shut. But no, I mean, again, it's question perspective, so you step back, and a couple of days have passed, and I opened up the comments again and I started working through them. I might have missed you, because again, YouTube and Google are not brilliant. They do have hiccups. Sometimes you don't get notifications, sometimes you don't see them in the list. So if I have not replied to you, I am sorry. I meant to, or I want to. It really has been overwhelming for me. But in some respects, it's made me realise that there are seas of people out there in the same position that all really, as individuals, need somebody to say, you're all right, mate, don't worry, everything will be okay. We can, you know, I'll sit next to you, and if you want to ask or say something, just give me a shout and I'll see what I can do. I mean, unfortunately, I can't, because I'm here in Glasgow, or no, Hamilton, which is just outside Glasgow. So I can't sit next to you, especially if you're maybe in Arizona or something like that. I wish I could, because our weather's crap. I'd love to sit somewhere warm. But emotionally, I'm sitting next to you. Emotionally, I'm hearing you. You heard me, and thanks very much. Believe you, and that's not enough. There are no words where I can thank you enough. But this morning, a poem came to mind, and I'm going to read you it. This is one of these poems we were given when we were at school, where you had to critically assess it. And I see, when I was younger, flyby stuff. I read words, and I saw the words, and I understood the words in their I can't even say this, literal sense. And it's only with age that you gain understanding of words and their significance to others. So in that respect, I want to read you a poem which kind of sums up, I need my glasses, excuse me. It kind of sums up how I feel and how I felt, particularly in relation to the responses. The poem is called Not Waving But Drowning, and it's by a woman. I thought it was a man. It just goes to show you. Her name, I think, is Stevie Smith. She's passed away. She died a few years ago. She was born in 1902. So anyway, Not Waving But Drowning. Nobody heard him, the dead man, but still he lay moaning. I was much further out than you thought, and not waving, but drowning. Poor chap, he always loved larking, and now he's dead. It must have been too cold for him. His heart gave way, they said. Oh no, no, no. It was too cold, always. Still the dead. One lay moaning. I was much too far out all of my life, and not waving but drowning. And it occurred to me that what it really means is, you sit here saying, look at me, and you're not saying look at me because you want the fame. You're saying look at me because I'm swamped, I need help. And I'm not talking about just, you know, me sitting on YouTube. you could be talking to, say, somebody you meet in the street and they seem quite over the top. And sometimes that over the top isn't that they want to draw attention to themselves. That over the top's because they're crying inside and they just don't know how to tell you that. I can understand the not waving, you know, it's a ah. That's, you know, there is a difference between waving and actually drowning. And by drowning we mean just getting dragged down in the current of life. This is a bit depressing, this video. I was kind of hoping I might be uplifting by this time, but apparently not. A lot of people are not waving but drowning, and I was in some respects. But well, I mean, I've got a long road to travel in this, but I just want you all to know that I hear you, and I see you waving, and I know you're not really waving. I just, as an individual, I can't necessarily reach every one of you, but I think I noticed when I go through these comments, a lot of them have a lot of wee ticks, so a lot of folk have read them and thought, I know where you're coming from as well. And so, you know, I would like each one of you to get comfort for that you're really not alone. There are a lot of us in this, that's the analogy I used last week. There's a lot of us in this boat. We all had different oars. The oars, some of us don't even have oars, we're maybe using our hands to paddle in the boat we're in. But we all know where we're coming from. We can all appreciate struggle. So, no, you're not alone. Do you know what I mean? You've got company of some sort through the internet. I mean, the internet's got a lot of problems with it, but there is good. Sometimes you've really got to search to find it, but there is good. On another aside, normally I don't put up the analytics in relation to the video, you know, the thumbs ups and the thumbs downs and whatever, and I do that for a reason. There are some wicked people in this world. I get the figures, but I don't necessarily make them public. Now, when I looked last week, I haven't looked today, but there were, I think, 15 thumbs downs, and I sat there and I thought, it didn't distress me. Ironically, it did not distress me, right? I think it was intended to distress me, but it doesn't, because I don't actually care that much. It made me laugh in some respects because it reminded me of a joke I heard years ago. You know, don't hit a man when he's down, kick him, it's so much easier. And that's what it was like, because it's as if some folk actually, they see you bearing your soul and it's not enough for them, and they, for whatever reason, want to make you feel worse. Well, it didn't work. I genuinely don't really care that much, but I wanted other folk to know how irrelevant it actually is, because it's, I mean, there are a few videos on the internet for folk, crafting folk, who clearly are getting a wee bit upset about this, because every time you make a video about whatever you make, you do get thumbs downs. I don't get an awful lot of them. I maybe get one or two each video, but again, it's one of these situations where I've sat and thought, you know, you read the comments and none of the comments actually imply there is, you know, why they're doing it. And it's the thing about it is, it's because it's anonymous, they're getting away with it, or they think they're getting away with it. But it really, that in itself really doesn't matter. Not to me. And I've tried to explain that to other folk, that it comes, for whatever reason, it comes from a place of bitterness. It comes from an inadequacy on their part to be incapable of functioning properly and expressing themselves. Because if it's an expression of how they feel, why can't they leave a comment to that effect as to what it is they don't like? But they don't. They hide behind the anonymity of a wee Well, honestly, it really doesn't matter. I think it's quite sad that there are people like that. But there you go. That's life. They're folk that are needing sympathy. More needing sympathy. I will every now and again slip into Scots, but they're more needing sympathy than the recognition and the fueling of their ego, because they have achieved nothing in the grand scheme of things, apart from looking like an idiot. Because let's face it, the video itself, I think it's had something like 15,000 views. It was never my intention to go like that. I thought if it went the way it normally did, it would maybe get something like 200 views. But I think between the Etsy situation and depression, it touched a lot of folk, and that's why it got the views. So it touched a lot of folk, and of that lot of folk, 15 didn't like it. What does that say about you? Because it says more about you than it says about me, and that's why it doesn't bother me. Anyway, I think I've covered what I wanted to cover today. As far as Etsy is concerned, I am going to wind it down as much as possible, because there's really very little point in continuing to pay fees to list things when they are not moving. As far as how I'll sell, I mean, it will be there, but I'm not going to be adding in a new stuff to it. I'm going to try and I'll try and use Instagram. I think I might need to open another account that's maybe a bit more kind of business related. I don't like referring to it as business related, because, okay, I'll open another Instagram account that's more hobby related, because that's what I regard it as. I mean, there's a few other websites that I want to have a look at that do similar things to Etsy. Hopefully they don't stitch you up the back the way Etsy do, but I'll play that by ear as I fight through them. It's been a busy week, because I mean honestly I have spent a ton of time trying to reply to folk, and obviously when you watched that video you started watching my other videos, which meant there was comments in them as well, so there was a lot floating about. And I really, as a person, I used to get quite annoyed when I would look at videos and I'd maybe comment and you got a thumbs up or a heart, and I'd think, why did you not answer me? And I would take the hump at it. But I think I can fully understand it now. I would be doing it with folk that were a lot more popular than I am, and they must have been swamped as well with folk commenting, and they probably produce videos a lot more frequently than I do. And there aren't enough hours in the day to do the comments, the videos, the actual crafting, and everything else that occurs in your own life. So I understand it now, and I'm really sorry I maybe was, not giving you the benefit of the doubt in the past. I do want to try and respond to everybody if I can. If I've missed you, I'm really sorry. I will try and work through them. It might be a delay, but I will try and work through them as and when I can. I know I've still got a number to actually answer, and I'll probably leave more if anybody responds to this one. But I think I've covered everything. Depression is horrible. Some folk will kick you when you're down. Some folk are there to say, you're great. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be all right. I'm here to try and support you. You can only hope you meet good folk in life. I've met a ton of really good folk. I've met some stinkers across the years. Oh, believe you me, I've met some stinkers. Some really horrible people, but we're all the same. we are all just human. We are all fallible. You can only do what you can do in life, and you know, life is better if you're pleasant to people, and that is what I've always believed. You reap what you sow. I was sorry, my video cuts out after 30 minutes. So you know, you're in heartfelt conversation with somebody and your video cuts out. Right, anyway, I suppose it's where you're telling me to wind things up. If only you'd a wee guy come out and waved a flag to let you know. Right, I've prattled on enough. Thanks for your time, thanks for your support in so many ways. Thanks for supporting each other, because I know some of you have reached out and responded to other people that have written comments in the original video, and that's fabulous, because that is what I wanted. Well, no, that's not what I wanted, but that's a background thought of how I would like life to be lived. Support others, that's what it's all about. We are all just, what the phrase they use in Scotland is, we're all Job Tamson's bairns, which means we are all children of the one man. I'm not big in religion, so you know, but it's true. We are all cut from one cloth. We are all the same. So support one another, and thanks for everything that you've said to me over the past week. I will try to respond to you all as best I can. Just know that I'm slow in that respect, because there's so many. So thanks very much, and take care. I'll be back later today, hopefully, with the giveaway results, which again, last time I did a giveaway, I think I got something like 40 plus responses, and I've had, last time I looked, I think I was sitting at 700. So the old random number generator is going to have to be given it all day when it comes to picking out a winner. But I'll be back hopefully today to get that done, and thank you all again. See you soon, where hopefully I'll be sitting here dead happy, but don't hold your breath, just in case, because it might take a wee while to feel better, but there's hope. Last week I didn't feel there was hope. This week I feel there is hope, for me anyway, and hopefully there's hope for you. Right, take care folks, look after each other, and I'll see you soon. Bye.